Hello, students. I am Parneet Jaggi, and today we're going to be talking about the story The Open Window, written by H. Munro, Saki, and what kind of themes Munro takes over in this story, which is interesting because of its wit and humor, and also some kind of suspense which lurks throughout the story till we reach the end of the story. Now, when we talk about the themes that recur in the story, first of all, we find there is a kind of a binary opposition existing between appearances and reality. So, Saki's story, The Open Window, explores the tenuous territory between appearances and reality. And in the world of the entire story, this divide between appearance and reality is actually artificial. Why? Because it is created by this girl Vera, whose false accounts, fictitious accounts, present the realities at hand in misleading ways. Now, when we look at this story broadly, with a view of this theme, we find that during the initial conversation between Vera and Frampton, Vera takes advantage of Frampton's ignorance and his lack of familiarity about the context of that area to tell a tale. Now, it is also noticeable here that the story that Vera invents or cooks hinges on a very tangible feature of the environment. It is not some psychological illusion or thought or emotion, but it is a tangible object, the open window. And she very interestingly constructs the story of Mrs. Sappleton's husband and brothers, who are narrated as dead. So, beyond the detail of the open window, we see that Vera also draws on the fact that these three hunters are out hunting and will presumably return soon. So, it makes a kind of a ghostly environment in the whole of the story, because of which Frampton feels quite nervous. And then eventually, in the end, we see that when these people arrive in reality through the window, this man, Frampton, is like terribly scared and he leaves, he runs away with a sudden flight. And he doesn't know that he is being deceived by a young girl, which is just an appearance, and reality is something else. So we see there is always an opposite working in the story, appearance versus the reality. Then we have the discomfort of company. Now, this theme is taken by the writer in a number of ways because the story dramatizes the often uncomfortable nature of social situations, especially particularly encounters with strangers or new acquaintances who are not familiar with you earlier. There are several sources of social discomfort and awkwardness in the story, like Frampton's unfamiliarity with the Sappletons, Frampton's nervous and tedious nature, and Vera's falsehoods. So we see that there is some kind of discomfortness prevailing through the story, that why do they not know each other, or why aren't they familiar with these common things about each other. Now, even the cause of Frampton's visit to their place, to the house of Sappleton, is very odd, is a source of social awkwardness. Now, we see that his sister has given him a letter of introduction, which Frampton is about to show to Mrs. Sappleton as a means of introducing himself and starting a conversation and a familiarity with the family. Now, we see that itself the situation is very uncomfortable because Frampton doesn't know a thing about the family and even about Mrs. Sappleton. So, this girl, Vera, takes the advantage of this ignorance and cooks such a story which leads to the horror of this man. Now, another cause of social discomfort is his own character, Frampton's character. He is both nervous and tedious. He keeps reflecting on his own misgivings about meeting his new neighbors. He is doubtful whether he'll be comfortable with his stranger neighbors or not. And later in the story, when he introduces himself to Mrs. Sappleton, he in fact chooses to talk about the details of his nerve cure, which Mrs. Appleton finds so boring and she's not interested in his talks. So these are the kind of situation which show some kind of discomfort, some kind of awkwardness in the whole environment. Then there is the suspension of disbelief. We find that the story comments on the suspension of disbelief that all storytelling is built on. Saki's story within a story structure encourages the readers to initially believe that Vera's ominous tale is true, because Frampton is the story's viewpoint character until the moment he flees, he runs away. Readers know as much as little as Frampton knows for the main part of the story. It is only in the last final 4 paragraphs that readers come to understand the actuality, the false nature of Vera's story. So, in this way, the open window story turns the traditional story on its head, showing how stories depend on a suspension of disbelief on the part of the audience. The audience of Vera's story includes both Frampton and the readers. Now, although Frampton is in the end made to look like a fool, but readers are encouraged to examine their own reactions to Vera's ghostly tale and even question their own degree of gullibility. How we readers are supposed to believe what Vera is narrating as a tale about that open window and about the dead people. So, as such, The Open Window, this story can be viewed as an example of metafiction. That means a piece of fiction about the nature of fiction. So, every fictional story requires some suspension of disbelief on the part of its audience. And in this story, we see that readers are encouraged to suspend disbelief as they consider Vera's tale, but that suspension of disbelief is then proven to serve a lie, and the sudden revelation of this fictitiousness of the story is unmistakable. So we see that Saki, as a clever storyteller, as an intelligent storyteller, very sagaciously, very deftly shows his readers their own willingness to approach stories, to believe in the tales on their own terms, no matter how false, no matter how outlandish, no matter how kiddish these stories may be. So, this was a brief discussion on the theme and the way Saki has handled his themes in this interesting and witty story. So, for the next updates, next discussions on this story, stay tuned. Thank you for now.